Good afternoon, good day. Welcome to podcast Yabantu, a podcast ebukelwa ngedatha. Before we go any further, I'd like to appreciate you for coming here and watching. Please do not forget to press the subscribe button. You press like, you go underneath here and you leave a comment. You can simple great. You can tell us where you're watching from and what it is that you like about the podcast. And also, you are free. You're welcome to tell us what you do not like, what you think you should improve, we should improve rather, and any other thing that you'd like to say. But as we have been saying, we sometimes do not have cameras, and then we say we are not going to sit and not post because we do not have cameras. We're going to even use our phones to talk to you so that we continue dishing entertainment, education, information, and also provoking some conversations so that siyisizwe sikwazi ukuxoxa ngezinto ezenzakalayo in our midst. Thank you so much for all the people that have been commenting, supporting us. Thank you so much even to those that have been also bashing us and trolling us. We really appreciate it. It shows that you are watching the podcast. It shows that you are also supporting the podcast, even if you come across as if you do not like us. I want to tell you something. We are not going to stop because here we believe that we do not give up. We won't give it up. So now I'm going to share today with you some developments coming out of Zimbabwe. Maybe let me put on my head so that maybe you can respect me or maybe listen to me. Does it match with my... It does, right? Okay. I think I'm going to like this. So now we are going to go to the constitutional amendment bill that have been spoken about for quite some time. Remember on Facebook at some point I did try and share how people can vote against or for, or how they can submit how they can submit their letters or whatever view that they had about the particular amendment bill. So the bill was tabled and it has been debated, and now we have it in good authority that the Zimbabwean Senate has approved a controversial constitutional amendment bill. So now this bill extends the president's term from the current president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, from 2028 to 2030. We've had talks of Vision 2030 for some time. Some people didn't really understand what it was all about, but we saw there were some consultations across the country, and but there were also talks of people being denied a chance to air their views. At some point we saw Doug Coulthard, the famous lawyer, at some point having his phone snatched and also hit and beaten when he was trying to also air or express his views on this bill. At some point in Bulawayo, we saw people being denied a chance to speak. The mayor himself, his worship, Umlungisi, David Coulthard Pela, Ongbaba Doug Coulthard, also trying to speak, I think, at some wall, if not in Geta, but in some township, Bulawayo. He was denied an opportunity to also air his grievances. So this bill increases the presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 to 7 years. If you remember, the term in parliament for ministers or cabinet ministers or the president would be 5 years, and then they go to elections again. If they get re-elected, they'll do another 5 years. But in Zimbabwe, this was going to be the first time, because since 1980 we've always had one person being in power for that time until the famous coup in 2017, where people got excited thinking, oh, things have changed. I don't know. Would you say things have changed to you? Do you see any change in Zimbabwe? We've heard people saying things are now better. We are hearing also currently people saying things are now better. What is your take? Please leave your comment in the comment section, your opinion in the comment section. So this bill also introduces a system where future presidents would be elected by parliament instead of the public voting for this particular person. So this is also going to be something that will be debated for quite some time, but also people or the general public is also being blamed for not voting or submitting enough, and some people are talking of rigging. I don't know. What's your take? What is your opinion? There's a huge debate online. People are talking. People are saying this is good for the country. It's going to bring political stability. This is mostly from the government and the people that are benefiting from this rather. And you also hear the government saying this will also help ease or reduce the election costs. They were complaining, saying they spend quite a lot of money. I do not have the figures in front of me. They said they are spending a lot of money to conduct elections, and this is going to reduce that. But opposition parties and civil organizations have also add their views, saying this actually undermines or weakens democracy, and it also reduces the citizens' voting rights. I don't know ukuthi uthini wakho wena umbono whereby upresident usezovotela ngabantu abasephalamende, which means you do not have a say on who becomes the president. Moving right along, we also have it in good authority. We have been reading Lapana on Reuters that Zimbabwe is in talks now with China. They're seeking for Chinese infrastructure funding. So the government is negotiating minerals-backed financing deals with the China to fund major infrastructure projects. These include roads, railways, and also infrastructure like buildings for government institutions. I think we remember that the parliament was, we've got a new parliament that was, the building was actually constructed by a Chinese company, and we know there are benefits. There's something that they get. They probably go build the parliament and then are given some land to mine gold or coal or whatever, or lithium, because it is the thing now that everybody is talking about. So Zimbabwe plans to use these future earnings from its lithium and other minerals exports to repay these loans to China. And also more officials are saying this strategy could accelerate development, but abanye bayakhala futhi laphana ukuthi there's so much risk in doing this, because you might get China coming and building a road that doesn't even cost them 10,000, but them being given land with lithium, or being given lithium that's worth billions of dollars. I think we saw it in Zambia a few years ago, where for constructing the airport, the Chinese government benefited a lot in coal mining in Zambia. And moving to our next topic, we have SADC finance ministers meeting in Harare. Zimbabwe will be hosting these ministers from the Southern African Development Committee, and they will be discussing the following topics. The first one being regional financial integration, where we have always heard about, the Africa having one currency and whatnot, or having these currencies work interchangeable into each other's countries and whatnot. But we'll hear more from them as the meeting has concluded. Also, they're going to be talking about trade, which at the current moment, I think it is something that needs to be discussed. We've been seeing the unrest in South Africa, where the general public is fed up and saying they are tired of illegal immigrants. But also we see this affecting trucking across Africa, where there's quite a lot of businesses that happen into and out of South Africa through trucks that drive through into Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, and other African countries. They'll also discuss, amongst other topics, economic cooperation amongst member states. So sazi kuyozala nkomo laphana, especially manje kubusy kunje laphana kwele South Africa ngendaba zama anti-illegal illegal immigration protests. Skijime futhi siyofika laphana eHarare, where we will be seeing international football scouts landing in Harare at the beginning of July, where they will be conducting trials for young people. Laphana there is an institution called Total Football International Showcase 2026, that has scouts from Europe and other regions that are expected to attend. So please prepare your kids, prepare the boy child to head over to Harare. Try and find out more information online on how this will be accessed and what is it that you need, what is required for your child to be part of this. And then moving right along, we're going to touch on a topic that we did touch on last week, which is Indaba Yama-Sabhuku deals. We've been seeing all this, we have spoken about this, but we didn't really have the government saying anything. But they have finally came out of the shell there and addressed the issue where they are warning people against these illegal Sabhuku deals. So the government is saying to the public, please do not purchase land from unauthorized Sabhuku deals. Do not purchase land from anybody else. Do not get any land offer letter from anybody else except the Ministry of Lands. The Ministry of Lands are the only institution that is that is legally obligated, that is gazetted to offer land offer letters. So this warning comes after, as I mentioned, we've seen a lot of people being displaced in areas where some of this land was meant for commercial farming or other things, but will have bogus or corrupt officials from the government that would sell this land to people, and then people will end up building their houses and whatnot for them to be later destroyed by the government. But I want you to keep an eye on what's happening in Zimbabwe, on what's happening in South Africa. We've got 30 June looming. 30 June is coming. There's a lot of anxiety in the streets. You can see a lot of my fellow Zimbabweans are really stressed. We are stressed. We are praying that there be positive outcomes on the day. Yes, we do understand the cries. We do understand what South Africa is crying about, but we are pleading with our African leaders to try and sort out their houses, to try and sort out the government, so that the governments work for the people. And if governments are working for people, we are not going to see people flocking into one country because it has a better economy, because it is run better than the other. So this is a wake-up call for all of us as Africans. This is a wake-up call for us as Zimbabweans, especially now that it has been established that there's over 4 million of us in South Africa. But also, we've seen quite a number of people heading back home. We've heard about buses that have been coming into South Africa and ferrying people back home. I do not have full information about that, but I have seen and heard that there is something like that happening. So please try and find out online, try and ask questions, and see if you can also get assisted. And also want to say congratulations to Nobukhosi Chuma, the lady from Zimbabwe who came second in the annual Comrades Marathon in South Africa in KZN. I would like to say thank you for representing us. We saw in Bulawayo, the mayor, the city fathers, we saw Kingdom Blue and other stakeholders coming together and giving her a warm welcome. And we call upon the government to look into this, to divert their attention into people like these and seeing how best they can embrace them and reward them for representing us so positively in the world stage. We also would like to welcome Utando Chuma and Vosimozi Mkandla, who will be landing in Zimbabwe on the 4th of July, flying all the way from Ghana after cycling over 22,000 kilometers in 2 years across African countries. They have gone into Benin, Rwanda, they've gone to Botswana, Angola, they have been to Cameroon, Kenya by bicycle. And we would also like to say congratulations, well done. I don't know how you guys did it, but you did it. I'm really proud of you. Would also call upon the government, companies, private companies to really come together and see how they can also embrace, reward, and partner with these individuals that have done so well. In the World Cup, we saw Bafana winning against North Korea 1-0, and they are proceeding to the knockout stages where they will play Canada in the next game. And I think Canada is beatable. Really proud of the team. Really proud of Bafana Bafana representing us in the southern region of Africa. We say, well done Bafana Bafana. Stimela siyashosholoza siqonde khonale kwele South Africa. Ubukelo wami angiyidedi indawo, ngiyabuya lezinye futhi indaba ngibe lezinye futhi ingxoxo, siqhubeke sifunde sikhulisane. Wena ungakwenza ukuthi press the subscribe button, share, comment, invite people, clip some of these things, go and discuss them somewhere else in other platforms.